So this past week, I attended a Zoom seminar on how to navigate stress and anxiety. And I just wanted to share something that really struck me during the seminar. So at the beginning of the seminar, there was a kind of like a PowerPoint presentation, and one of the slide, the very first slide that came up, um, had two words on it, and that was it. And what those two words were is that anxiety is. I was like, wait, what? Anxiety is what? But it was just literally anxiety is period. And to summarize, I can't say what the trainer said word for word because honestly I don't remember, nor can I say it as eloquently. But basically, what she said was that um, what if we learn to accept and live life with anxiety instead of always trying to fight it and resist it. And man, really, just kind of immediately, I was taken aback. Like, whoa. And like instantly, my mind started to really like play around with that word, or the phrase of anxiety is. I think for me, anxiety is a part of my everyday life. Um, I would say maybe for most of my adult life, I've always been one to like worry a lot. Um, just really like a very concerned type of approach to everyday life. A lot of playing scenarios in my head, a lot of what ifs, and also how I operate is when I think about anxiety or when I try to prevent anxiety, it just makes me more anxious. So it's kind of like a self-perpetuating cycle where the harder I try to prevent and predict and minimize anxiety, what oftentimes happens is that I just get more anxious, or I end up with more things to be anxious about. So when the trainer basically was talking about what if anxiety just is, just is a part of life, and the more willingly we accept that, and to not fight anxiety, but to really integrate it into everyday life, how would our lives look like if we took that approach instead of always trying to fight it? And I was just like, wow, that's a really interesting perspective to take on that, because it's not a perspective that I've ever taken. Um, because I'm always actively trying to fight it, prevent it, reduce the frequency and intensity of anxiety in my life. So for me to try to like flip the concept of how I see anxiety and how I approach anxiety, it was just like a really not only like a wow moment, but also like a moment of like hope in a way, and also a moment of excitement, because it was it sounds so simple, but it's just a concept or like a perspective that I've never, thought about. So, I started playing with these scenarios in my head, like anxiety is, you know, what if I accepted and what if I accepted anxiety, as a part of life and not something that, that is like, oh, this is me and that is anxiety, but more of a, hey, anxiety is a part of me. It's part of my spirit, my body, my soul, whatever. Um, and also, like, what if I viewed anxiety as something like, hey, I gotta eat every day, right? I don't fight that. I don't prevent that. I gotta brush my teeth every day. I don't, I don't, if I had the choice, I wouldn't want to brush my teeth. It's a waste of time and, whatever. Like, if we didn't need to brush teeth, that would be awesome. But I don't fight it because I just accept it. It's a part of everyday life. Um, and, it's like, wow, what if I approach anxiety with that same attitude and be like, well, oh crap, like, anxiety is happening to me versus, well, that's just something that happens. It's just a part of me, it's just a part of life, and I'm not gonna fight it, and, just talking about that, what just came, to mind right now is, how about other emotions like happiness or sadness? It's like, am I gonna fight happiness when it comes? Am I gonna fight sadness when it comes? And I mean, I wouldn't prefer sadness in my life, but I understand and I accept that it's a part of life, from now until the day I die. So, what if I had that same attitude towards anxiety and worry and, stress? I don't really fight stress because it's like, we get stressed out from work, from, relationships, from life. I don't really fight stress, but with anxiety, I'm always on edge about anxiety and trying to prevent it and minimize it and all that. So, yeah, like I just thought it was a really, really interesting and powerful perspective on how we approach the concept of anxiety and how we can really shift in how we see it and how we decide to kind of integrate it into our lives instead of trying to see it and treat it as a separate entity. So I just learned about that, several days ago. So honestly, I'm still kind of like playing with the concept and, all those thoughts in my head. But, I just want to make this quick video and share, my insight. So, yeah, I'll continue to keep sharing my insight and perspective as I play around with this more. But yeah, until next time.